if you would just join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. So we have Mr. Edwards at 5:35.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Not too bad.
I'm here to help to answer any questions you may have about the forest management plan
Yeah.
that we created last year.
Have you seen the forest?
I saw it. It was Kathy emailed it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had seen it. Do you have any questions?
I do not, no.
Do you have any questions?
No.
I have questions.
Please.
So I'm guessing, I've never logged anything, but I'm guessing we're going to have some type of large equipment into that area. What damage will that do to the surrounding areas? And how do we mitigate it?
Sure, great questions. The whole activity is covered under a cutting plan, which is produced by GCR. And so they supervise, they oversee the work in the sense of making sure it covers all regulations, state regulations. The Conservation Commission gets a copy of that cutting plan as well, and they get to respond with criticisms or comments to DCR. Once the activity gets started, it will be disruptive. There's really no other way to describe it. Logging in its simplest form is disruptive. The whole purpose here is really to disrupt what's there.
Mm-hmm.
You have, specifically in the northern portion of the higher elevations of the park, you have standing dead timber.
Right.
And as such, it's going to fall down if it isn't already starting to, whether we do nothing or not. So the goal here is, in the plan, was to create better habitat for birds. And this is a perfect opportunity to create the habitat that birds, migrating birds specifically, thrive on, which is early successional habitat. The only way to create early successional habitat in Massachusetts, really, is to cut forest. Unless you're going to let your fields, don't know your fields. And then they'll come up into an early successional habitat, which is how most of the forests we enjoy now were created. By 1850, 85% of Massachusetts is cleared for agriculture. So you can envision seeing Mountain Onondaga from here on higher elevations. This was a cleared landscape. So this park was harvested, I think, about 30 or 35 years ago. Parts of it was. And I invite anyone to walk the trail that walks to the more elevated portion of the property and see an opening that you walk through of pine that is, 12 feet tall, is thick, so thick you have to kind of wade your way through it. That's what can happen if you create an opening. So the park is less used in the winter. I think the best time to do something like this is in the winter.
Okay.
The ground is frozen in the winter. The ruts and the disruption on the ground is minimized in the winter because the ground tends to be frozen. So a winter harvest would be part of the criteria. If we do nothing, which is a management option, I think that you're going to have some potential liabilities with trees falling. So
Yeah, we've seen very large branches come down up there. I know Jeremy's been clearing.
and the longer we wait, the less value there is inherent in the product that's still standing. So red oak, 3 to 5 years, and it's basically not marketable. So my hope is to salvage what you can, create some bird habitat, which I think you're interested in.
Yep.
And I think that if we do it in the winter, it'll be less disruptive.
So that was one of my next questions, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
So what is the process that we're going to need to go through to have this done? We've already got the plan.
Sure.
So what are our next steps?
Great question. You enter into an agreement with me for me to act as your agent to do that. I get 15% of what is you receive. Money is handled by you. We put it out to bid. I'm being very, very, so I know you're short for time, so we put it out to bid. We let logging contractors bid on it. It's a sealed bid auction. You review all bids. We award the contract. You have an agreement with that logger. It spells out timing for payment. Simultaneously, there's a cutting plan being acquired by DCR, which is reviewed by the Conservation Commission, which is produced by me. It's part of what I do.
Okay.
All the abutters are notified, certified mail, so everybody's on notice. This is going to happen. Take a look at your boundary, make sure you know what you think your boundary is. That's the intent of the notice of intent, and it's certified mail. So these things all come together. You find a number you like. We write an agreement. I help you write an agreement. Town council chimes in, no doubt, to formalize what this logging contract is going to do, when, and how, and the payment structure.
Okay.
I supervise that process. I get paid. I invoice you as you get paid. I don't get paid until you get paid. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay, so it sounds like we could have that done this winter.
I think this winter's too ambitious.
Really?
Yeah.
Darn it.
I think it is, because the process it's not speedy.
Okay.
There's time frames for people to review things. By the time we get through the holidays, I don't think it's going to happen this winter.
No, we don't have a cutting plan yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping by February.
No.
Well, then we're out of the winter.
Think of the spring.
I think you want it frozen
Completely frozen? January?
Yep.
Okay,
If it freezes, which we all know it doesn't always freeze.
Right.
true. Okay,
Are you up there supervising them when they're cutting it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trees are marked with paint.
Yep.
So trees that are designated to be cut are marked with paint. The trees are marked twice at about 4.5 feet high, and they're marked on the stump. So when the trees are gone, the stump should have a stump mark.
okay.
So everything is tallied and summarized by species, by diameter. So we know what's coming out of there. People can view it by looking at paint and see what's coming out of there. So there's no mystery about what's going to get cut. Obviously, sometimes other trees get knocked down when you're doing this, but that should be kept to a minimum. And if we're doing clear cuts, the finesse here is not so important. And I would suggest that we do something. I don't know what your appetite is for this, so maybe it's better to walk than run for this. But this plan suggests that the rest of the park be thinned as well. Maybe that's too big an apple to bite on. If we have another year to talk through it, maybe that is a better idea to do this all-inclusively, all at once, have it done. But that's your decision, not mine. I would focus on the clear cuts as a safe, clear way to see a goal, have an objective, and see results. But when they're in there, if you worry about the disturbance and the problems associated with this kind of heavy construction, or disruption is probably a better word. Disturbance is what we're doing here. We're doing it because it's already been disturbed.
Okay.
The thinning's a great thing in there as well. I mean, nothing's been done in, 3 decades, so it's really time.
I've seen some clear cuts done up in some Coles property up on Leverett, and they've done a pretty decent job, and it's coming back. It's great for
It's great for
everybody. I'm a hunter, so it's great for me.
It's great for hunting.
Yeah.
It's great for.
For future knowledge, how often should these areas be done?
I think a 10-year cycle is ambitious for a municipality. I think if you could visit a landscape every 10 years, that would be ideal. But I think 20 years, 10 to 20 years is probably a good time frame
Okay.
to want to revisit a site. It just depends on what's there.
Okay.
If we clear cut it, we don't have to do anything for 20 years or more.
Okay. All right, I think that was all of my questions. You have any?
I'm good.
You have any?
Nope.
All right. I think we're all set for now
Great.
with our questions.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
should we enter into a contract with you now?
I
So we
don't
can start
have it
moving
with
this
me. I
forward?
didn't want to be that presumptuous.
No, it's to start moving this thing forward.
That's the next step, really,
Okay.
because I can't do much without being your agent.
So we'll set up
I can't be your agent. unless-
December 6th, we can enter into that
All right,
contract.
I will fire one off to you electronically and
Perfect.
start the meeting.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edwards.
I look forward to it. We done?
We are done.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Chief, you good to go 10 minutes early?
I'm good to go.
Let's go.
So I asked to come to speak with you folks again. There's a couple things. Well, one changed recently, but I discussed the lieutenant position with you, asked you to consider it, asking if we can move forward with it. And then because the police advisory board is getting together for the sergeant position next month, I have a test scheduled, interview scheduled. So again, I'd like to move forward with the lieutenant's position, just with the post and everything else. This is interesting times we're dealing with. I really need that buffer, and I think it's a smart move that rather than taking a step backwards from what we had, I'd like to keep what we had.
Chief, could you remind me when the sergeant's test is scheduled for?
The exam is scheduled on the 10th of December, and the interviews are on the 16th.
Okay. I mean, I agree it would make sense to put it all into one package, so to speak, and just do it all at the same time.
Right.
So it's a seamless, we're not short sergeant, we're not, everything will just flow, I guess?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, we wouldn't be short. right?
Sorry?
We're not going to be short sergeants, right?
No, we would
No,
still, we
no,
would
no.
keep with the structure we have,
Yeah.
one lieutenant and two sergeants.
Right, no, I'm saying, so keeping it all
Rather than
seamless,
going
so we
back to
have
where we were before
Right.
with three sergeants
Right.
not having.
no lieutenants. But
Yeah.
if we put a lieutenant up now, then we have no sergeant until the test is over.
Well, we
I
have a
wanna keep
sergeant,
this
we just don't
A
have.
flow.
Because we have two sergeants.
They have two.
Right.
No daytime sergeant. Well, no midship sergeant.
And is he gonna work, what shift?
I'd probably split it after having conversations with you folks, you know, like a couple days, couple afternoons, or 3 and 2, something.
Okay.
Okay.
And while we're talking about that, as you saw, we got that one of 3.
Yes.
Congratulations
Excellent.
on that.
Like,
Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Wrote that, and you know, we've written it every year. And this year, Chief Wishart, before he retired, said, go for it. I talked to Chris, and he said, yeah, let's do it. And the chances of getting it, obviously, are very rare, and we got it. So, that being said, since the police advisory board is together, Chris and I still have to finalize everything with it, but if we could just might as well post a full-time spot as well. Again, it would be conditional with the new rules with the MPTC and certification and everything else would be contingent on somebody being certified as a police officer, whether they have to go through a full-time academy or this bridge academy. I can report today that Officer Brooks finished his final exam, and now the MPTC doesn't know what to do with him.
oh, no.
Yep, I called today and said, what am I supposed to do? And they're trying to finalize the plans on what I need to present to them to say he has his hours, he has the test, now he's certified. So, I sent the director an email, sent an email to their Bridge Academy email. It's all new. They didn't, when Alan finished his test today, the director of the MPTC called him into the office and had a conversation with him because they wanted to discuss, I guess other communities are complaining that this 5 weeks is too much and everything else, and so he wanted to get his opinion on it.
Yeah.
Alan said, you know, it was great. Officer Bartlett, I don't know if you saw, get a chance to read my weekly report. He also finished the 3 weeks. He now just has to get those 4 exams done, so.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. So when it's all said and done, we'll be one of the first, either first or second, because there's one other officer from Lunenburg that is neck and neck with Officer Brooks, so we just have to figure out what we get. But I think his last name begins with a D, so as far as Alan's concerned, we're going to be number 1. I mean, it's no lack of effort on our end. I'm just trying to figure out what they want, you know.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But I'd like to post that as well, have the advisory board interview for it, and then again, kind of just say contingent upon, just like we did with Alan.
Just like we did.
Yeah.
Here's a conditional offer until we get you certified, or whatever way it has to be, depending on what they have, and
Is this an internal post?
it would be internal,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, some good candidates.
Yep, and again, it's gonna probably depend more on who wants to do it. Again, everything is alphabetical. There's no moving anybody up, which is awful. I mean, they're having issues with getting enough people. For example, Ryan and Alan both went to these trainings, both defensive tactics and the emergency vehicle operations. There were 7 people in the class and 13 out at the firearms.
Wow.
So I said, well, if you can't get people, can we offer, I know some other communities are trying to get some people involved too. If you don't fall within A through H, you're not going this year.
Oh, wow.
So if when we post this job, A through H have a chance for a bridge academy. Everybody else would have to go to a full-time academy the way the rules are from MVTC.
Well, that's
So,
frustrating.
It is frustrating, you know? If people aren't getting involved, then
Yeah.
let's get people involved that want to do it.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Regardless of where their last name falls.
yeah, but.
Well, if
they're
the
not
last
doing
name is
that.
what, I through Z? Right?
I'm sorry?
H-I? Be I through Z?
So I through, I think.
Oh, they
it's
split it
P
again?
Or something that's, I think I would have had to go, whatever certification we need to have, I
Yeah.
qualify next year, but I think it's just doing our online trainings and going to the chief's courses and they're good, so. It's alphabetical, you know? No matter what you try to do.
No.
You say, look, I have somebody that I want to put on full, they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to
Yeah.
hear it. Unless their name falls
Unless-
into that.
Exactly.
they can always do a name change, you know?
Legal name change?
They
Well, you gotta
can-
get that done, but you have to also, we got an email a month ago or so that if you're not in by April, and you're A through H, you're not gonna make
You
it.
miss it, oh.
They said you're not gonna have enough time to finish it, and,
So do you then have to wait for the cycle to go through all over again?
no, you'll be decertified.
Just decertified?
You'll have to go to full-time police academy.
Oh, wow.
It's,
Okay.
and like I said, they're doing this on the go. It's like, well, we have the first couple, this should be easy, rather than waiting till April or May, saying, here's my paperwork, what's going on with my officer. But
Like I said, they're probably figuring it all out as they go
They
right
are.
now. Yeah.
They are,
Working
Didn't
the
look at
kinks
it.
out.
you know.
I have no problem with the posting of the lieutenant's position.
No, I don't. Like as you mentioned, Chief, too, as long as it just shows that there is some type of split shift there.
Yep.
Yep, I have no problem with it either. It's a good thing.
Okay, and posting this full-time spot with the grant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was your
No,
second
no, I just want to
question.
make sure we're on the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
page,
no.
and basically, Chris and I haven't had a chance to, these government websites are fun to try to navigate, but we'll get there.
So with the grant, what happens when the grant runs out?
Yeah, that was gonna
We
be,
have to guarantee 2 more years
Okay.
of that employee being hired, so we have retirements coming probably
So-
as well, so.
It'll probably just all kind of work
Yeah,
out.
I think we
Okay.
You
do.
know, so it's a great time. You had to be specific on what you wanted to do with it, and I just said that I wanted to additionally staff a shift so that like our DART officers can follow up on, do a better job following up. They try to follow up, but if we have somebody on to make sure one of them can get out there and talk to some of the citizens that are having issues, and then we wrote a grant with South Hadley. I gave South Hadley some of our numbers, and their chief wrote a grant for a behavioral health network clinician to be kind of assigned more to
Yeah,
our
yeah.
area.
Oh.
So I'd like to be able to, again, follow up on some of those, you know. These are changing times and people need help, and, you know, want to be able to offer that.
It sounds good. It's appreciated. So I guess you can get those postings up.
Yeah, I don't see
Yep.
why not. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
thanks, Chief.
Is there anything else you want from us?
No, I think we're good.
Do you want your contract signed?
Oh, that
Oh, you want your contract signed?
That'd be great.
You get in that pilot
Yes,
system.
yes, I have his contract. Oh, you have 2 copies right there? All righty then. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion that we approve and sign the police chief contract running through May the 22nd day of November 2021 between the town of Granby, Massachusetts, herein referred to as town, and Kevin O'Grady, herein reactor as police chief. It extends through right here. June 30th, 2024.
You all set, right? Is that it? Yeah, I'll second the motion.
All right, is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, you're official.
Thank you.
Well, you've been official. You're just gonna get paid for it now.
Well, okay, he's getting paid now. He's officially official.
Only 2 minutes ago, you were a bargain, not so much now.
One more, sorry. All right, Chief, you want an autograph?
So I guess I'm sick of
You
it.
didn't sign that.
Sorry. Oh, you can sign that one first. I didn't know you were a lefty.
Yep.
It looks like a doctor's signature, right?
I guess it's a good thing reports are all electronic now.
Absolutely.
All righty, so you are official on that. And you have nothing else for us?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We don't have any citizen participation, correct? All righty, Mr. Town Administrator, what have you got for us?
Under correspondence, we had received a invite from the school committee on November 30th of 2021 at 6:30 PM. They're going to be doing their FY23 budget kickoff. And I guess they'll be having a presentation from the Mass Association of School Committees as the first part of that, and then they'll be open for questions and answers. So. Next item is Granby Bow and Gun Club is now going to actually go to court starting November 30th. It's going to be held in Belchertown, and myself and the building inspector are slated to have to go and testify. As of right now, I don't think we'll have to close the office. But on November 30th, Kathy already has that day off, and Dale has that day off, so I may have to close it for part of the day. Because they feel I probably wouldn't have to testify probably till late on the 30th, which is a Tuesday. So if it's afternoon, it won't be that bad to have to close, to be able to go and testify.
Okay.
Okay. MSBA. There was a phone call with MSBA, myself and school personnel on November 2nd to talk about the junior senior high school study. There was 118 statements of interest submitted, 60 accelerated repair programs, 58 core. Of the 58 core, they were visiting 11 districts, and they will be considering 9 districts to move forward in the funding schedule. That will be decided at the MSBA board meeting on December 15th, 2021.
I think that got moved to March.
No, there's 2 dates. There's a December 15th and then there's a March 2nd, 2022 that they were talking about.
Okay, I thought I'd heard that it got moved to the March meeting.
I was under the impression that if it goes to March 2nd of 2022, you'll be invited to submit on the next round of funding.
Okay,
But I could be
hopefully I
mistaken.
misunderstood.
Okay. Right now, then on November 4th, they came out and did a site visit and walked through the high school, MSBA personnel. During the conversation, it was talked about possibly moving grade 6 up to the high school. That raised a potential issue with MSBA because they paid for grade 6 as part of the East Meadow project. So unless, depending upon what the conversations end up being, if it has to deal with overcrowding and things, we may be okay, but if not, there may be some cost recovery implications from the town as part of the East Meadow project, if they're planning on moving grade 6 and including them as part of the high school renovation project.
Okay.
So, just want to let the board be aware of that. And then, departmental budgets are due the end of December. Normally, the Board of Selectmen meets with the departments under their jurisdiction. So we should probably plan some extra meetings for the first couple of weeks of January. So you can meet and I can then move forward with budgets that have been approved by the board in addition to what the department heads are requesting. Okay?
Perfect.
And basically that's it for under town administrator at this point.
All right then, let's move on to our departmental reports. Has everybody had a chance to read them?
I have.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the town reports. I think it's all 11/4/14 through the 20th.
I don't think it matters.
I'll second Rick's motion.
Was there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's talk maintenance warrants.
Okay, you have 4 warrants in front of you. First one is warrant number 29, dated 11/5/2021. The grand total of that warrant is $1,604,543.16. However, $1,354,462.42 of that were just transfers between funds. So the true net warrant of bills being paid out is $250,080.74.
Okay.
Just so the board is aware of that. Then we have warrant number 30, dated 11/12/21. That is a payroll warrant in the amount of $439,557.78. We have warrant number 31, dated 11/12/2021, in the amount of $129,628.72. That is the maintenance warrant that goes along with the payroll warrant. And then we have warrant number 32, dated 11/19/2021, in the amount of $195,313.33, and that is a bill paying warrant.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve and sign warrants number 29, 30, 31, and 32.
I'll second Rick's motion.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now we have our gravel permits.
You have 2 gravel permits in front of you. First one is for Ted Audrick at 240 Chicopee Street, expiring 7/1/2022. And the second one is Leon Chartier at 232 Bachelor Street, expiring 7/1/2022.
Those are the same, we're just renewing the gravel.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
renewing them because any news.
And it's signed off on the Conservation Commission too. I make a motion that we approve and sign the gravel pits for Leon Chardier and Ted Andre.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We already got Kevin's contract. All right, so now we have the minutes. Looks like we have minutes from August 28th of 2019 and November 1st of 2021. I already have the minutes. If that was what you're looking for, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you need to see them, Rick? You all set?
Yeah.
Minutes?
Let me look at them again.
Sure.
I've read them already, they were sent. Just want to double check. So the minutes of the meeting on August 28th, 2019, I'm going to have to abstain from it before my time. That makes sense.
All right. Tell me when you're all set and you read them all.
I'm ready.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right, I will move to approve the minutes from August 28th, 2019 as written.
I'll second.
Was there any discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any abstains?
Oh, abstain. Sorry.
All right.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from November 1st, 2021.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so our minutes have been approved. And I really want to say thank you to Dale for getting us so caught up. We're getting there. Alrighty, so let's go to, we got time, okay. Mr. Martin, letter to residents for the 202 sewer project.
Yeah, the board had talked about sending the checks back for the water main project along 202. However, Jen, you and I had talked a little bit, and you would like to take one more opportunity to address District 1
Yes.
to see if we can move forward with this project, because apparently they're not gonna be digging up 202 and getting it paved probably before late spring, maybe early summer next year.
Right.
As does the town wish to try and push this water main project forward and get it in as they're doing their construction within the town of Granby. One final shot.
I would like to try.
I definitely would like to try it. I know, is there any going from the South Hadley Board?
We have to meet with District 1 water.
Okay.
How much were the checks for, the amounts?
I think it was 3,000 maybe?
Checks 2 or 3,000, I can't remember.
I wanted to say 3,000, I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. That was forever ago.
So how long would it take us to meet with District 1 and go through all this again?
Well, we could try and schedule one for December.
Sooner the better.
We
in
just
my
need
book.
their commitment in writing.
This seems we're hanging on to people's money for a while now, for, you know, if we get an answer sooner than later, would be the ideal thing. I don't wanna wait 6-9 months again we're hanging on to people's money.
We can't because they're gonna do this project mid-spring. But we still might be able to get in ahead of it if we can get the water.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
If we can't get an answer by the end of December, then
Yeah.
we'll
Then-
consider it a dead project at that
Right.
point.
We'll definitely reach out to them. Why not?
Okay.
There's nothing to lose.
Yeah, we have nothing to lose, that's the thing.
All right.
Yeah, here, I'll let you sign those. So then, Ms. Bartos from the school committee had reached out via email regarding dates to have a joint meeting with the school committee and the select board. She had proposed 2 dates. One was December 6th, or the other was December 9th. I believe December 6th is our
This is our
first
regular
meeting date.
board meeting, yes.
So I would prefer to do it December 9th, which is a Thursday, if that's okay with you guys. I'd like to give this meeting its own meeting, not be sandwiched into a,
I would agree.
so that would be a Thursday.
And where is the meeting gonna be held?
I'd like to meet them on their turf this time. They always come to us. Besides, they're much more comfortable. I miss my chair.
What time was she thinking?
She had
said?
not proposed a time. I think we were just working on a date.
I mean, the 9th works for me.
Is there a time that works better?
I mean, if we could stick to our 5:30 meetings, would be nice. I mean, I know theirs are usually a little later than ours.
Okay. I will double check with her. Does Thursday the 9th work for
Yeah,
you?
I have nothing scheduled yet, but
Okay. All
we're on
right.
the 6th, right?
Yeah, we are on the 6th.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so I will just follow up with her to let her know that December 9th works, see if 5:30 works for them, and then we'll decide the location, and I'll let you guys know. Well, I'll let Chris know.
I mean, the time's not a hard time. They say, no, we can't.
Right, we're not gonna say,
Right.
oh, we're not meeting with you,
Right.
but maybe we can compromise. Make it 5:45. All right, does anybody else have anything? Is that a no?
No, sorry.
Type it out.
All right, in that case, I am going to move that we move into executive session under Mass General Law 30A-21-A-2 to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Do I have to put both of them in there? And MGL 30A-21A3, and don't ask me what that one is, because I forget.
That one is to be able to discuss strategy regarding potential bargaining issues, again, where if it's held in a public forum, would be detrimental to our bargaining position.
Okay, we haven't used that one in so long, I forgot. We will be returning to open session only to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, Silva, aye.